Some people think a big old car like this 1963 Galaxie is a very heavy machine. In fact, some people call them boats, you know, these big old sleds. But not this one. This is a 1963 Ford Galaxie 500 factory lightweight 427 car. This week's car is another super low production factory lightweight race car. It's a 1963 Ford Galaxie 500, and if you look at it, it just looks like a big white sled. I mean, it doesn't really look like a race car. Ford was doing very, very well in NASCAR with the aerodynamic Galaxie 500. The most aerodynamic thing on this car is the rear window design, which helped promote high-speed stability. Now, NASCAR was really, really popular, but drag racing was gaining popularity as well. And I think one of the neat things about drag racing is a lot of times it gave a spectator a chance to get up close and see the cars in person, right in front of their face, you know, in the pits between rounds. They could meet the drivers, they could see the action in the pits and watch the race go down the track and get instant gratification between rounds. You know, NASCAR, you had a super speedway or a big racetrack, lots and lots of laps, and you didn't really get a chance to go meet your favorite race driver. But in drag racing, you could. And the coolest thing about it is that these cars were identifiable to people on the street because they were very similar to the car that they could go buy at their local Ford, Dodge, Plymouth, you know, Mercury dealer, whatever it might be. And hence the evolution of the stock classes, and you know, the class that this car was designed for was called Superstock. And Superstock meant that the majority of the parts were stuff that you could get in a factory showroom type car. However, there were a few exceptions. There was a cubic inch displacement versus weight versus power ratio. And in order for the Galaxie to be its most competitive, they stuffed the 425 horsepower 427 dual quad R-code V8 under the hood, and then they started to make the cars light as they could but still be legal in the class. And by doing this, these things were very, very successful. So the question is, how does a car this big get the term lightweight attached to it? Well, the answer is, if you look and listen, hear that? That's a fiberglass fender and a fiberglass inner fender as well. The hood, that's fiberglass. The bumper, that's aluminum. A lot of trick parts on this car to shave weight everywhere they could. This ain't the car to take a long distance cruise in. If you get cold, well, there's no heat. If you get bored, well, there's no radio. If you don't know what time it is, there's no clock. There's no carpet, just a rubber floor mat. There's no seam sealer, there's no sound deadener. I mean, this is as light as they could make this thing from the factory. It didn't have the fancy Galaxie 500 bench seat or bucket seats. It had these very flimsy red seats that were designed for a Ford van. As far as production is concerned, I think there was 200 of these things made, and most of them are white with the red interior. I think there might have been one or two that didn't get painted white, but all the rest of them were white. And it made a nice backdrop for racers to put graphics on, the name of the car, the number, the sponsor details, and all that stuff. These things rolled on 15 by 7 inch wheels, and even the wheels are special. They tried to make them as light as possible, but the center is beefed up to be stronger for racing usage. But they were shifted with a top loader 4-speed, and they had that 9-inch rear axle with leaf springs in the back, and it was just really just designed to go fast. This is not a car you're going to get in and go for a comfortable cross-country cruise with the family. But you could take it down to your local drag strip and run a low 12-second quarter mile in Superstock trim and be NHRA legal. It's pretty cool stuff. There are a lot of completely original, correct, pristine, numbers matching original muscle cars in the Brothers collection, but there are also a handful of race cars that were made as race cars from the factory, and some of them are pretty famous, and this is one that is pretty cool because it shows you what the starting point was if you were going to go be a Superstock racer in 1963 and you ordered your car and you were lucky enough to get one. this is what you got. Man, these racing seats are not very comfortable, but you weren't supposed to drive this for long distances. It's a quarter mile at a time car. You can see more pictures of it on our website at musclecaroftheweek.com, and we've got our YouTube channel. If you subscribe, you won't miss a single episode of Muscle Car of the Week. And don't forget the Facebook page, where you can check out pictures and post comments and share these cars with all of your muscle car fanatic friends. Man, it doesn't get more basic than this.